Welcome back to the Piping Pastor Holiday Edition again. Joining you this time from Indiana for a wee bit of a chat. And today I'm enjoying some of the Balkan blend from Milan Tobacco. It's been a lovely trip so far. Got to spend some time with one of my sisters today and her family. Yesterday was with the in-laws, and got to meet up with my mentor, Rich, friend and mentor, and we did get to record some of the video for that. So I'm going to tack that on here in a wee bit. By way of a bit of apology, I didn't have my my tripod set up when I was there with him, so I was using my arm to hold the camera. So shoddy camera work. Didn't have the mic set up, shoddy sound. So apologize for all the amateurness of that, but content was good. Content was good. We had a good chat, and then he and I actually sat and talked for about another hour and a half after that video. I'm always blessed when he and I have our little chats together. We're lined up pretty close theologically, different denominations, but we have very close theological views and understanding of Christianity. So it's always a good time to talk to him. He obviously has a great depth of understanding that's beyond my years, but it's always an enlightening and encouraging chat. I also made a stop to the Pipe Puffer. The Pipe Puffer in Indianapolis. Oh, I should mention this is my Whitlock Ebony pipe, and we talk a bit about this in the video with Rich, so you'll hear more about that. But I stopped at the Pipe Puffer, which of course is one of our favorite haunts of the trucking piper, American trucking piper. Not Bob, but Doug. And because Rich, who is my friend, used to smoke Borkum Riff. He doesn't get a chance to smoke as often anymore, but when he did, that was his go-to brand, and he liked him. And he also liked Captain Black. He mentions that in the video. But I was chatting with him back and forth, and it's like, what can I bring you? And that's what he chose. So I got in touch with the folks at the Pipe Puffer, and lo and behold, they had some in 1.5 ounce packets. So I was able to bring some Borkum Riff Cavendish and Borkum Riff whiskey, and that is the first codger blend I have ever smoked. So there we have it. I mentioned before on my pipe smoking journey, I started out with an English blend blended at a tobacconist, and since then, when I moved back to the States and had to find other sources, I always got 10s, or I'd get stuff from like Milan, Country Squire, and I like the small tobacconists I can go to. So I never did the codger blends, and I'm not a real big fan of burley, and a lot of codger blends are heavy on the burley. So this is my first ever codger blend smoke, and it was actually rather nice. We don't spend a whole lot of time in the video talking about the blend that we were smoking, the whiskey flavored Borkum Riff, but it was nice. It was mild, a slight whiskey flavor, but nothing overpowering. It was a nice, easy, it was a good smoke for a conversation. It wasn't an overly complex tobacco. It was a nice background note to a long chat between friends. So I can recommend it for that. If you want a complex smoke where you got to sit and think and try to pick out different flavor notes and have a reflective time for yourself, that's probably not it. Kind of reminds me, kind of like early morning pipe. It's early morning pipe, not burly morning pipe. Early morning pipe, in that it's it's a nice tobacco, but there's just nothing. There's no fireworks. Just a good mellow smoke. So, in any case, um, tomorrow have the rest of my family over for the actual Thanksgiving feast. Um, Going back home to Maryland. So we'll see. I might get these video snippets edited and put together so I can get this out soon. But if not, this may not end up coming out till till next week sometime. But it's been a good visit. And if there's one thing that I've really that really hits home for me, especially at times like this, is the importance of family, the connections of family. Family by blood or family by choice, either way you look at it, those you consider your family. Actual in-person connections for those. It can be very easy to rely on electronic communication for these connections. And in point of fact, that's something I've had to do historically because we've traveled so much with the different ministries I've been serving in, here, there, and yonder across the world. But there's no real substitute for that in-person connection. I know many of you live in and around or near your family members, and you can meet up in person, but oftentimes you don't. I mean, I was guilty of it too. When I lived around the family, it's like, oh, they're right around the corner. I'll see them at Christmas, or I'll see them at, at New Year's or something else like that. And don't spend a lot of time in person, face to face communicating because we just assume they're kind of always there. And I say it's easier to rely on text and things like that. But if you can, if you're near family, if you can have that in person interaction, there's really no substitute. Take the time, invest the time in your family for yourself and for them, because there is a tremendous benefit to it. And it is something that I do sorely miss. So, well, that being said, I'm going to finish up this pipe and then I got to go start doing prep work for all the food for tomorrow. So I hope you have a lovely week. I hope you have a great Thanksgiving, or had a great Thanksgiving, depending on when this gets posted. And we'll get a video up here in the next few days as a follow-up. So until then, have a lovely week. And as always, happy reading. Hello, everybody. As I mentioned, I'm here with my friend and mentor, Rich, and we're in his workshop. Hey, Rich, sir.
Good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, whichever it is for you.
We are enjoying a pipe and a coffee in the afternoon here. And so, Rich, what are you smoking, and what are you smoking it in?
Well, it's the Captain Black. Which one of the Captain Black? Oak whiskey, and it's a very mild but tasty and aromatic tobacco. I've never met a Captain Black I didn't like. It's a Rossi pipe. I bought it at a pipe store in Fort Wayne. I don't remember what it cost me, but it was worth every penny.
Do you remember when that was?
Oh, maybe 10 years ago. It's a well-used briar pipe. I've had several briar pipes that I liked, and also smoke a corncob pipe from time to time. I like those also, but I didn't really like Douglas MacArthur, so
pipe choice based on political affiliation.
Yes, right.
He's a Navy man.
Yeah, I actually have caught a corncob pipe on fire before.
Okay, like just over lighting or leaving it?
When I was lighting it with that torch lighter.
Okay.
It's a cob. It's a corn cob, actually. People burn those for fuel.
Yeah. So there's a warning for you. Butane torch, keep it away from your cobs.
I've never been able to light one of these on fire.
Briars are a little bit harder.
Yeah.
I've actually this is my Whitlock. This is my ebony pipe, the one I travel with. It's a bent apple.
Yeah, that's what wood is that?
It's ebony.
That's ebony.
Yeah. At least that's what they told me. Rich is the woodworking expert, so I can tell by the way he's looking at this, he doesn't think it's ebony.
Well, let me look at it more closely, if you don't mind.
Yeah.
Get the light in it. If it's ebony, it's light ebony.
Okay.
Ebony is usually a much darker wood.
All right. Well, whatever this is.
But, well, sue him.
Hey, it still smokes. So,
Yeah.
I say we're here in Rich's workshop, which is tools and wood stuff everywhere, and we're
Yes, indeed.
having a wee chat. So I've known Rich for goodness 5-6 years.
At least 6.
Is that 6? Yeah. We met when I first got back from Scotland through my father-in-law,
Yeah.
and Rich, apart from being a woodworker, is also a cook. I would call him a chef. I don't know if he would take that title himself,
Well,
but
not a professional chef.
but a darn good amateur.
I'm a good cook on what I cook well, I cook well. But I can't run a restaurant.
But the cooking is the important part. We had breakfast meetings here for a good long while.
Yeah. Well, Merle and I met for breakfast on Friday for over 40 years.
Yeah, we don't have that kind of history.
No.
Yeah.
Your father-in-law and I have that kind of history.
Yeah.
But not breakfast.
So,
he was the head of the Y, and I was on the Y board.
and how long you been serving in ministry?
50 years.
50 years. So yeah, that's spiritual mentor, coach, teacher. Yeah, that's why. There's a lot of time there.
I was ordained in 74.
The year before I was born.
Well, dang. Well,
that's a good lot of experience, though.
It's been a while.
Yeah.
Not only that, I will say this: I've been visiting nursing homes for all those 50 years, and until I was in one, I had no idea what a crapshoot it is.
Mm-hmm.
I was in there for therapy for rehabilitation, but most of the people in there know they're never going out. They have very little control of their lives. Even a good nursing home is a bad nursing home.
That's an impactful place for ministry.
Mm-hmm. You don't have a choice of what you're going to eat, or very limited choice. Only influence of when you go to bed and when you wake up, and very few of the people there go out at all. They're just in that little room until they go away. Mm-hmm. No wonder there's a lot of depression there. One of my friends asked me if the place had a chaplain. I said, I don't think so. He said, I bet they do now.
Well, and that's a good word. I mean, a lot of us in the YTPC are right around 40s, 50s or so, and so that's something that I think we can all have an impact in. We talk about various different ways we can have an impact in society and build a legacy. But I mean, yeah, that's
you can have a huge impact. Yeah. We had a reunion a couple years ago with our youth group when I first started out in 1974. 22 of them came back. There were only 5 in it when I started the youth group there. After 50 years, 22 came back to talk. You've had an impact when that happens. Mm-hmm. And it's not just me, that's a lot of people.
And that's the importance of legacy.
You know the starfish illustration, right?
Oh, yeah. The kid walking down the beach.
Walking down the beach, sees, actually, one I had was jogging on the beach, and he sees somebody way off, bending down, throwing stuff in the water. Walks a little way, throws something in the water, keeps doing it. When he comes abreast of him, he stops and says, what in the world are you doing? He said, well, every night, starfish wash up on the shore. And if you don't throw them, if somebody doesn't throw them back in, they die. And the guy said, well, there's millions of those fish. What can you do? What kind of difference can you make? Bent down, threw another one in, said, made a difference to that one.
make a difference to one starfish.
One at a time.
Yeah.
And I've preached to 4,000 people, and I preached to one. And you know what? Every one of them heard it one at a time.
See, that's why I come to this guy. That's that kind of stuff. Well, my arm's getting tired because I didn't bring my camera stand in.
Okay.
And he and I are going to get to have a bit more of a chat here, relight our pipes, and get back to it. So, but in any case, yeah.
I wish you well and Godspeed.
Yeah. All right. And we'll see you next time. Happy reading.